Hairless Worgen says when he refreshes the page, it says we're live, but it's actually not live. You know what? I have that too. It says live with a play button in the middle.
Hang on. It says live now on my browser.
Oh, wait a minute. I see Yahtzee Ling.
You do?
Oh, yes.
Is it live? Are we actually live? No for real? No fooling?
Yes, we are for real, no fooling.
Oh, we're not on my browser.
Oh, well.
Oh, wait, yes we are.
It takes longer to get back to the West Coast.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, my brethren? All right, great. Frickin' finally. I'll just tweet out we're live.
Oh yeah, not a bad idea considering
Live
all
now
things.
with Breath of the Wild after some cock-ups. All right. Yes, sorry about that. A couple of things pissing us about there. But it is officially the post-zero punctuation stream, and it is officially Ron Whittaker with me today.
Indeed it is.
And it is officially The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild kind of day. Played on the Switch. That you're also very jealous of. Now, I don't want to start a new game, because I feel this game does take a while to get going. And we want to really let you get a feel for the open worldiness of this open worldy installment of Zelda. So what I'm loading is a game that was pretty much right at the end, just before I went and killed Ganon. But I'm not going to do that. That's spoilery. We're going to explore the side stuff and things that you can do in the wonderful world of Breath of the Wild.
Well, not only that, but this open world is quite open without much things in it.
There should be audio now, Era Games. There's just no audio on the title screen of this game because it's arty. You may have noticed that the font is like just italicized Arial because it's minimalist. It's a minimalist approach to game design. So, in contrast to games like Horizon Zero Dawn, you can actually climb anything and not just jump up and down next to walls looking like a big stupid. Although it is presently raining, so if we try to climb vertical surfaces we will slide off.
It's also worth mentioning that when you climb things you get that stupid stamina meter, and if you don't have enough stamina you fall to your death.
Well, quite. But that just makes you think of Shadow of the Colossus, which is a much better game than any of us deserve. You know, there were bits when I was playing this game when I was trying to climb somewhere and it would start raining and I would have no option but to just sit there and wait for the rain to stop.
At least your stamina meter doesn't go down when you're hanging on the side of a cliff.
No, I didn't actually know that until you said that. I had to test it.
Well, I only know that
those are quite some fingers Link's got.
I only know that because I hung on the side of one of the first towers forever, hoping that I would regenerate a little stamina because I didn't have enough to make it to the top and I didn't want to fall.
But you don't regenerate stamina is the problem. Unless you've got food that does that. What am I carrying? I've got the Master Sword.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah. If anyone's playing Breath of the Wild, if you're looking for the Master Sword, you go to the Lost Woods and with about 14 hearts. That's all you need to do to get the Master Sword is have at least 14 hearts.
Yep.
Because the side mission is basically pull out the sword and try not to get a hernia while you're doing it. Your health just ticks down while you're yanking on it, and if you've got fully about 14 hearts, you'll be able to tank the damage enough to pull it out. There's my tip.
Yeah, I don't have the Master Sword yet, so does it break on you like every other goddamn weapon in this game?
No, what it does is it has limited power, which recharges. So you can use it, but after a while it will say, "Ooh, the power of the Master Sword is running low." And then once it all goes away, you got to wait about 10 minutes before you can use it again. Here, I will now use this mystical sword of heroes to destroy this mountain goat. Die! Die! Oh, drop some raw meat there. That's the power of the Master Sword, bitch. It's possible. Is it possible to use food? Well, in the sense that you can eat it, yes.
Depends what you want to use it for, I guess.
Yeah. Let me show you some of the food I've got. Ooh, yeah, I've got 28 mighty bananas because for some reason there's a mission as part of the main story path. Well, I say main story path. There's a mission you have to do in order to complete one of the areas. That for some reason they just throw bananas at you throughout the entire mission until you got 28 of the bloody things.
Just wait, Donkey Kong pops up later.
Yes. I'm now going to hold some bananas. Here we're demonstrating the flexibility of the inventory system. You can put any item you're holding into your hands, and you can drop it near, or you can drop it far. Or throw it, as that used to be called.
So,
I'm going to
Slime McAwesome says...
I'm going to throw a banana at this farmer to show them how it should be done.
Very well.
Okay. The bananas phase through the farmer because the farmer don't give a shit.
Hey, Two-Class, thanks for the subscription.
Where were we? Yes, the stuff I'm holding. You know, one thing I didn't harp on probably as much as I wanted to, because I was dividing the review into halves, one for the console, one for the game, is that the inventory management in this game is kinda shit.
It really is.
Do you agree, Ron Whittaker of the Escapist?
I, in fact, do agree, Yahtzee Croshaw.
So the Master Sword, you might notice, actually does less damage than a couple of these weapons. But these ones that do really crazy damage, the damage is the number in the lower right, are two-handed, which means they're very slow to wield. I think the Master Sword is one of the highest damage one-handed weapons. One-handed, of course, you can also use your shield with. If you're into Dark Souls.
Says inventory management is always shit, but it doesn't have to be shit.
This weapon's not bad. It's usually got a pretty it's got a pretty good damage, and it's usually pretty fragile, but this one's got a special durability up attachment to it. So there.
Yeah, no infinite inventory.
Yeah, these spaces are all filled, and I can't hold any more melee weapons.
Don't worry, one of them will break in seconds.
Yeah, this isn't the number of weapons you start with either. I had to give up a few Korok seeds to get this many spaces. Bows. There's a bunch of bows, a bunch of arrows. I'm sure that'll come up. And the standard shields. Liz was just on a couple of minutes ago, before we were live, and she mentioned that the Hylian shield is in the game somewhere, but I never found it. I just used this green shield that someone gave me after a quest. And here's all the lovely clothes you can wear.
Here's a question, Yahtzee. I haven't found this yet. As far as I know, you can't, but is there a way to repair your weapons?
No.
I didn't think so.
I guess that's to encourage you to just pick up new stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Virden Kane subscribed as well. Thank you, sir.
But here's all our lovely outfits. One of them is a lady's outfit that we wear at one point in order to disguise ourselves as a woman to get into the Gerudo town. And you could really understand why people would be confused with Link, can't you? I mean, I would argue that he doesn't even need the face mask. Look, it's a pretty lady. Looks a bit like that girl from Horizon Zero Dawn, actually.
Just a little, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to wear my champion's tunic, which is his standard shirt. But some environments are really cold and you have to wear like warm gear like this one. Some environments are really hot and you have to wear fireproof gear like this one. Jumbly Wobbly asks, where do you rank this game among other Zelda games? It's hard to say because it's such a different experience to the usual Zelda thing. Because it's so hands-off with its structure.
Yeah, it's very different.
This is my do-rag that I wear because it enhances my climbing.
Well, that makes sense.
I mean, if you ask me if I like this better than Wind Waker, which is my previous favourite, I don't know. I feel like I like Wind Waker a bit more because it's got a bit more visual personality to it. And I feel this game's a little bit cold. I mean, in Wind Waker, Ganon is an actual character you could actually sort of sympathise with in like his monologue at the start of the final boss fight. But in this one, he's just sort of generic evil force. Everything bad is happening because of Ganon. I stubbed my toe. Fucking Ganon. Fucking everywhere. Now, I saw a kid running around here who had like a little exclamation mark on his speech bubble. So I suppose that means he's got a side quest. So let's find out what that is.
A couple of questions from chat for you there, Yahtzee.
Has he gone to bed because it's night time now? Well, that's what you get when you spend all day climbing up on buildings.
First thing from chat. Do you take, in your opinion, with all the positives and negatives taken into account, is the game fun?
It's absorbing. I mean, I think asking if... I mean, I used to say, like, you know, the ultimate test is whether a game's fun. I think it's a bit misleading. Like, a horror game isn't fun. A horror game can be harrowing and absorbing and emotional, and that's why we play them. I would say this game is immersive and absorbing. It's hard to stop playing once you start. It is fun to explore, but once you have explored, the scenery gets a wee bit samey, I find.
Yeah, there's a lot of, from what I've seen so far, there's a lot of reskinned monsters.
And if we talk about stuff that isn't fun, I still think the climbing animation is way too fucking slow.
Sabramovich, thank you for subscribing.
Oh, do you want to see something fun, actually?
Oh, sure. We like to see fun things.
I'm going to equip my Zora armor, which enhances swimming speed, and also has another effect. Which,
the pink audio-looking thing next to the map, that is actually how much noise you're making.
Okay, that didn't work, but the Zora armor actually lets you jump up some waterfalls like a big salmon. And doesn't work on this waterfall. I think that's lame. I mean, usually this game is pretty consistent. If there's a wall, you can climb it.
Yeah.
But apparently they forgot to apply the jump up waterfall physics to that waterfall, which in retrospect makes the game a little bit shitter in my eyes. Take off like half a star.
Let's see. Teasel asks, how much does the player get treated like an idiot? Are there puzzles that are about pushing statues and obvious buttons?
Oh, well, speaking of puzzles... there's also a lot of shrines that are basically mini dungeons, and most of them have a little puzzle in them to complete. I think we might go and do one, because I deliberately left a few undone. Oh, by the way, this is my gift to the world. Because I obviously get this game for review a couple of weeks before it came out and played through it all. One of the side missions in the game is finding the locations where all these photos are, as I'm sure you're aware. Ron?
Yes.
You've played this game. How many photos have you gotten?
I haven't found any of them yet.
Well, it is quite hard. You have to, because it is quite a large open world, and you have to, and all you're given is one picture, and that's all you have to go on to find the location where the picture was taken. So, bearing in mind I did all this without FAQs, I found them all, and if you want to screenshot the map now, all these little shield icons is a place where I took a picture for the album. There you go, my gift to the world. The locations of all the pictures in Breath of the Wild.
And now you can never say Yahtzee didn't give you anything.
I was literally about to say that, yeah.
Yes, from what I've talked to Liz a little bit, and she says that the biggest complaint that she had with this game mostly was that it's just really not all that difficult.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, let's go to a micro dungeon and illustrate. Illustrate things.
Question, Yahtzee. Balderon says, why did you make this share review with a Switch? My guess would be that I'm going to guess and say that because the Switch is sort of Zelda and vice versa.
Well, I guess, because it is the hot app right now, isn't it? The whole reason to buy and shit. And I got them both at the same time, and I've got an otherwise fairly dense schedule. And, you know, I thought, obviously, the actual game is the thing I'm more interested in talking about, but you got to talk about the console to a certain amount. And I figure the things I had to say about the hardware probably wouldn't fill a whole review. So that's the whole reasons, and there you are. I don't actually have 1-2 Switch, Teasel. I've heard it's pretty lame, but I don't actually have it. Uh-oh, I'm sparking. That means I'm wearing something that could be struck by lightning. And apparently Link's cold. So I'll put his jumper on. I'm guessing the thing that's sparking are these soldiers' greaves. So I'll just put on my warm pants as well. Oh, and I'm still sparking. Something I'm carrying is going to make me get struck by lightning in a bit, and
Could it be
I'm not
the
sure what it
Master
is.
Sword?
Well,
I mean,
I'm not sure I have a non-metal weapon. Oh, let's try the Moblin Club.
you need that early in the game.
Okay, that didn't work. I got fucking struck by lightning.
Early in the game, there's a spot where when you kill the skeletons, you can pick up their arm and use them to beat other skeletons with.
Yeah.
And the hands still like move around while you're beating them with it. It's pretty great.
Yes, that's what happens if you hang around on a tower with a fucking metal item on your person. It's realism. Maybe it was the royal bow all along. Who cares? Mikos522 asks, Yahtzee, why does your short bio thing under your ZP still say you're Australian based? Probably because I don't write that, but does it really matter that much? I don't wear a hat anymore, but my avatar in the video still has one. Alright, there's a mini dungeon, that orange thing over there. Let's actually, I don't seem to be moving very fast towards it. I guess the wind is against me.
Jombly Wobbly mentioned it looks like an Ubisoft map. I will say that at least in this game, when you climb the tower and look around, all the stuff doesn't just pop up on the map.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my review. Because you see all these icons that appeared. Firstly, the shrines only appeared after I got to them. The same goes for the towers. And the yellow icons are ones I put on myself to like help me remember where stuff was. So it's actually not as icon splattered as a Ubisoft games map. Oh hey, there's a dude. I'm gonna kill the dude. Whoa, frame rate's fucking up. Actually, why am I still holding this stupid weapon? Master Sword. Why not? We are, after all, the hero of Hyrule. And I should probably eat something because I lost a load of health getting struck by lightning. I mean, Jesus Christ. Well,
it turns out that hurts a little.
Here's all the food I've cooked. Ooh, I could have some steamed mushrooms. Because of course you can cook food. You can pick up ingredients like slabs of meat and mushrooms and combine them at cooking pots to make meals that give you more health. What do you think? How are you finding that mechanic? I always think it takes slightly obnoxiously long for the cooking pot to work when you're trying to restock.
It's almost tedious. Like it's cool. The cooking thing is kind of fun at first, kind of interesting at first.
Yeah.
And then it's like, ugh, God, I just have to go cook for a while.
Yeah. Oh God, got to find a pot.
Console-related question: Yahtzee, has your docking station already scratched your Switch yet?
No, mine hasn't. Although I've never really used it for the screen alone, so maybe I need to examine it more closely. Hey, an arm to smack things with. Though I can't carry any more melee weapons. And something else I haven't picked up yet. A steel Lizal bow. Pretty good damage. Might hang on to it. Some herbs to put in my cooking. Oh yeah, and better take a selfie. Any weapons I don't have a picture of yet? Because this is the Wind Waker comparison. You can create a compendium of things in the game. Yeah, nice crop in there, Breath of the Wild. Nice automated photo taking. I can really tell what that is. You've really brought it to life. Fucking. Yeah, I haven't really been too crazy about taking pictures of things. Took a selfie though. I took a selfie because it added the knight's bow to my compendium because I happen to be wearing one. See, this is what makes Link different to other characters. Every other game I've played lately that had a selfie mode has let you take on like different poses while you're taking a selfie. Not Link. Link's just gonna stand there like a fucking action man, occasionally blinking. Look at those determined eyes. That old swagger. Show us your swagger, Link. Ivy Laura asks, I just got here, did Yahtzee say where Breath of the Wild is on his top Zelda games? Do we really have to do that, guys? Must we? must we rank everything numerically, like we're in the fucking top 40? Couldn't we just say, yeah, depends, yeah, the multiple games are kind of alright, and it depends on what sort of mood you're in? Why must everything be numbered? Why must you demand always a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Why is it always if you had to pick? This is why I've never been invited onto Desert Island Discs, I suppose. Here's me trying to get over a river and hoping to God my stamina doesn't run out when I climb up the other bank. Fortunately, I've upgraded my stamina a few times. Though I'd forgive you if you only upgraded your health in this game. See, every 4 mini dungeons you complete, you can upgrade either your health or your stamina. And honestly, I think you start with enough stamina to get you through most situations. That's just me.
I have fallen so many times.
No,
so
don't dive into the water, you stupid Link. You might notice the little radar on the right is indicating that I'm close to a shrine. Thank you, little radar. I know, I could see it. Patronizing bastard.
Yeah, see, what did you think about the music? The sound and the music.
I'd welcome it. Ba-boom!
If it had some.
Well, can't say I've noticed it, and they say that's the sign of a good soundtrack. That you don't really notice it.
I know that there's not nearly as much of it as there was.
Yeah, as I say, the minimalist approach. Hello, Mr. Wolf. Hello, Mr. Wolf. I am a friend of the nature. I will not kill you unless you attack me. Alright, Micro Dungeon. Or Dahasho Shrine.
I mean, it's whatever you want to call it.
You know, my girlfriend works with school children in California, and some of the names of these micro dungeons remind me of the some of the names she's told me school children have in California these days.
I can actually believe that.
Oh shit, it's a combat dungeon. I hate these. I wanted to show off a puzzle. I wanted to minor test of strength as well. I should have done this ages ago. I got the fucking Master Sword. I got the fucking Eagle Bow. This is going to take like 2 seconds. Yes, hello, ancient machinery robot thing. This is where we don't draw the Horizon Zero Dawn comparison. Yes, you're very impressive. Yes, I got hit in the face. Forgive me, it's been a couple of weeks since I played this last. I don't go into stealth mode. He's always doing that, bloody Link. Going into stealth mode while I'm trying to do something. I think I mentioned in the review that I think the stealth mode's kind of a waste of time in this game. Because most of the time I only ever seem to go into it by accident while I'm trying to move the analog stick really dynamically.
Yeah, whoops. I am sneaking around now, right in the middle of this combat. Jimmy Hotpants says, I think this is probably the most difficult Zelda game.
I guess it depends on how you play. If you're very thorough and search everywhere and take every opportunity to cook stuff, then you might find it fairly trivial. I guess the bosses are kind of hard. Uber Super Sloth, I don't think I will show you the final battle, because, hey, spoilers. And I would mention that if you want story closure, then do find all the photograph locations that I showed you earlier on the map, because you get an extra scene in the ending that actually gives you a bit of closure on all that. I guess it is pretty difficult because the game's like completely open world. You can go anywhere at any time. Then there's no real structure to in what order you see stronger and stronger enemies. So it's quite easy to go to a new area and go, oh, these guys are level 30 all of a sudden, and they're going to kick your bony butt.
I saw your in your zero punctuation that you mentioned you can just jump down, go to the very last dungeon, and get your face smashed in.
Yeah, you can do that if you want. You could even, if you're like a crazy speedrunner, you could probably find a technique to win at that point. Now notice all of these trays have apples in them. I will put an apple in the empty tray, and then one of these guys shows up, who you may recognise look pretty much exactly the way they looked in Wind Waker. Sort of little tree dudes with the leaf face. I mean, I'm tempted to say it's the exact same model.
Would it be terribly shocking if it was?
Well, it might be. It's certainly scandalous, since that was like 2 consoles ago, and this is supposed to be a whole like graphical and technological update that's make it worth buying a whole new console for.
That's slightly more powerful than the Wii U.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm just checking out the side quests I've already got. Offer a sacred relic to the Spring of Power, located to the west of East Hakala Stable.
See, Beard and Kane, this is why we keep you around. Beard and Kane says he wants another Majora's Mask style Zelda game that just fucks the whole system, introduces a new villain who kills Ganon outright and turns Link into a statue, and you have to play the whole second half of the game as Tingle.
See, the pattern with Zelda games is that if they ever try to build continuity over more than one game, then that's when they start introducing new ideas and making things get a bit weird. Because that's what they did with Majora's Mask, which was, of course, the immediate sequel to Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time had to do the standard bit, save Zelda, kill Ganon, Master Sword, Hylian Shield and all that. But once they'd gotten that out of the way, and once they started establishing some continuity, then then that was when they could start doing interesting ideas. And they did something similar with Wind Waker with the Phantom Hourglass, which was the direct sequel to Wind Waker on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm. It's all true.
Yes. Well, tell you what, there's one side quest I know I never got around to doing that I was kind of interested in, and it's to do with an ancient tech lab up over here. I will now fast travel to a stable to show you my horse.
Yeah, it's the gritty Tingle reboot where he's been going to the gym and working out, you know.
Balderon, I didn't say Phantom Hourglass was good. I just said it was able to do a plot other than Ganondorf and rescuing Princess Zelda. And because it was a sequel to Wind Waker directly and not restarting the continuity all over again. That was my point. Ya ass.
Yeah, nobody said anything about Phantom Hourglass being good.
I guess I can change out of my overly sweaty clothes now. And someone was asking me if I've upgraded my armor. Yes, I have. I upgraded these armored pants by 1 level. And my champion's tunic. Because previously the champion's tunic wasn't that much better than soldier's armor. But after an upgrade, it was my best defense armor in the game. Hey, a cooking pot. Now we can show off the cooking.
Oh boy.
See how fucking obnoxious it is. Incidentally, that whole thing about the Spring of Power, that's one of the locations where you have to take a photo, so bear that in mind. It was this one, I believe. That's the spring of power. Yes, so you might think that you cook at the cooking pot by sitting at it. No, 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 no. That's how you advance time. To cook in a cooking pot, you go into your inventory, you hold one of the things you want to cook, you hold one of the other things you want to cook, and let's put some salt in there as well. And once you're holding all the things you want to cook, you press cook next to the pot. And you wait half an hour.
God, I wish you were making that bit up.
Man, this that wasn't really worth it. Only 3 hearts. Oh, and here's Beedle, the shopkeeper, who I think has been a recurring character since Wind Waker, I want to say. He's looking kind of buff in this game.
They managed to make a cooking thing that was just as tedious as the alchemy stuff in like Witcher 1.
Yeah.
Yahtzee, have you seen or played Hollow Knight? And if so, what do you think?
Yeah, someone asked me that on a previous stream. I've seen it, I haven't played it. I know what it is. It's like a Metroidvania sort of thing, as I understand it. And that may be interested in trying it, but I haven't had time yet. Tell you what I've been playing that I never actually got around to playing, and this gives you an idea of how packed my schedule can be, I suppose, is Kero Blaster. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but
it's an indie game by the guy who made Cave Story.
Okay.
And it's a similar sort of action platformer thing, but a lot more linear and a bit less explorative. And it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of waiting to see if it's going to get a point of some kind. But it's fun just on this sort of challenging arcade level so far. Also, for work, I've been playing Nier Automata this week.
Oh yeah, that's going to be next week, I guess.
No, next week's going to be Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh,
I play a game one week, make the review the following week, and the review comes out the week after that.
So you get Horizon Zero Dawn next week and Nier Automata the following week.
Yes, and I'll give something away, is that I kind of regret having 2 wilderness exploration games in a row, with Breath of the Wild and then Horizon Zero Dawn. Because while playing Horizon Zero Dawn, I was getting quite a bit of the epic wilderness fatigue. I don't mind telling you. So I got two horses. One of them I got just because they told me to get a horse, and it was the first one I saw. I called him Sausage. The second one was a horse I got as part of a side quest, because this was Princess Zelda's horse or some shit. Well, they didn't name it, so I gave it a name and called it Dustpan. And because I did the side quest that got you this horse, I've got the fancy horse armor, which I didn't pay money for. Oblivion.
So, question. I was on the horse here. You take the horse out and you ride it wherever you're going, and then you just turn it loose, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of annoying because the only way to get onto a horse, or warp the horse to where you are, is to go to a stable. And most of the time you just take the horse somewhere and get off it, and then you just don't have a horse until next time you find a stable. Which can be quite an extended period. I mean, if you want to fast travel, the best thing to do is just go to the nearest tower and parachute most of the way, I find.
Makes sense. Can you make the horse climb mountains like in Skyrim?
Uh-oh, something's lasering my ass. Something laser don't need to do anything to get through the story plot, you can just go to the final boss. I think I said in the review, the reason why we go to the dungeons in this game is basically just so it knocks off some of the final boss's health by the time you get to them. So if you complete all 4 dungeons, the final boss will end up only having about half as much health as they would have had otherwise. And that's literally the main reason to do them.
Yeah. Escapee 1 says, newsflash, open world is shallow busy work with no semblance of pacing. Film at 11. Imagine that.
So yes, there's a mission to carry a flame all the way from the place where the flame is to this factory place here. Unfortunately, it's currently pissing down with rain.
Yeah.
So I can't actually do that quest until the rain stops.
Braxy29 asks, so are the uncritical 10 of 10 style reviews coming from nostalgia as opposed to an accurate assessment? I don't know.
We were talking about this in the pre-stream while we were trying to work everything out. And, I'm not sure you can pin everything on nostalgia just because there's plenty of games we've been playing since we were in tiny nappies. But not all of them seems to have this weird sort of psychotic loyalty that Zelda seems to attract. I don't know, maybe it's just a perfect storm, or maybe it's just that Zelda hasn't really changed its formula much over the years like Sonic the Hedgehog has, and there's never been that same sense of betrayal.
Well, and, I think a lot of it has to do with we haven't had a Zelda game. It's been a while, outside of 3DS stuff.
But why is it so important that there be a Zelda game?
I'm not saying it is, but the people who are big Zelda fans are, they were looking for this game for a long time. And when they got announced, they were all really excited.
Can't we just make new things, and then once we get that new thing, realize it was what we wanted all along, rather than just crying out for a new Zelda every bloody year?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily that it's not that this is a bad game.
No,
but
no.
It's far from it.
No, it's definitely worth your time. It's just got a lot of annoyances that I think what we're saying is that a lot of reviewers seem to be willfully blind to.
Yeah, I talked to Liz about this a little bit earlier in the week, and she said that she was kind of in the same mode that we are, which is, yeah, it's pretty good. It's probably like an 8 out of 10, if you were going to score it. But,
yeah, it doesn't. I mean, there's that feeling I get when I'm playing a game that I know I'm going to love and gush all over, and I don't get that sort of feeling playing this game. I guess because that's the emotionally cold thing.
Now, to be fair,
when I was playing Spec Ops: The Line, I remember there was a very distinct moment, or Driver San Francisco. There's a distinct moment where I think, you know what, this game kicks ass. I'm going to gush all over this, and I'm just not getting such a moment.
Sluggerl says, I like there to be a Zelda game every now and then, just because I've played very few games that scratch that itch. Well, if you're looking to scratch your classic Zelda itch with this game, it might not exactly do that.
Well, quite. I mean, Zelda is at heart a very heavily structured game, almost Metroidvania-y, in that the open map, in that the world is opened up as you collect gadgets and stuff that inorganically allow you access to new areas. Oh, stop raining. But now that I'm here, I'm suddenly more interested in that maze I spotted over there. I think I'm going to try to go to there. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people like Zelda games just because they like a firm structure. They like the Metroidvania thing.
Right.
This game, I would say this is closer to a Sandbox game than Zelda's ever been.
Yes, very much.
I mean,
so.
They've always been kind of open-worldy, but this is Sandbox in the strictly literal sense. Yeah. Oh, there's a Korok here. What do you know? Uber Supersloth asks, what was the point in Undertale when you knew you were going to gush over it? I guess might have been that bit while I was watching the good ending, when I was feeling like I was about to start bursting into tears. Because, oh my god, Asriel discovered his humanity again. Oh god, all it needed was a little bit of kindness. Oh god. Oh god, he was never a bad person. He's just trying to be something, trying to pretend to be something evil so that he can't be hurt before like he was when everyone was taking advantage of him. Oh god, I'm welling up. Did I just, analyze the game?
No, I'm watching the stream, and you look like you smashed headfirst into one of the blades of the windmill.
Something's fucking me up.
So yeah, Beard and Kane says, Ocarina of Time was probably the first game that got me to really pay attention to games. Saw it at a friend's house and continued to bug my parents to get me a Nintendo 64. Played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask for hours on end, so the series has a special place in his heart. I can see that.
Yes.
And that's the reason why a lot of people like the Zelda games. That they, you remember playing the first gold cartridge Zelda on your NES.
Wow, this maze was a lot further away than it looked.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, and there's bloody Seeker robots in it as well. That would have been nice if they'd popped in a bit earlier. Yeah, I can see there's a shrine nearby, game. Thank you, I'm looking right at it.
What's that large glowing thing in the distance? Oh, thanks for telling me.
Lomai Labyrinth Island. This is fun. This sort of reminds me of Wind Waker, where you'd stop on islands that had specific gimmicks. Like there'd be a little maze. Well, I assume that went without saying, mysterious voice.
Here we go, Yahtzee. Hegan says, you liked Shadow of Mordor. Now they're advertising Shadow of War. I know you don't like to get hyped over something before it launches, but do you have anything you hope to see changed in it? So as not to repeat the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood equals Assassin's Creed 2 thing you mentioned in your review for that.
Well, I guess that's a case of, you know, don't ask me, because we don't know what we wanted till we got it. I mean, I like Shadow of Mordor for its interesting little black book of orcs.
Well, can I can answer this a little
the thing
bit.
I want is something I'm not expecting. I didn't know I wanted a little black book of orcs until I had it.
I can expand on this a little bit because Monolith rolled out the first look at gameplay this morning.
Really?
Really? And it looks like what they've done with the Nemesis system is just taken a bomb and blown it completely huge.
Okay.
Not only do you have the orcs on the other team that all have personalities and do things, but now you have an entire army of orcs that you recruit for yourself.
Well, that was the case in the first game, wasn't it?
Yes, but all of these have their own personalities and different abilities and different things like that. And there are also forts now that you can take over, and depending on which...
So it's not just like inserting sleeper agents into the enemy ranks. Now you actually literally have an army to oppose their army.
Yes, and you
actually I actually kind of liked that whole aspect of sleeper agents.
The sleeper agent thing is still in there. You can actually infiltrate your people inside the forts to like, hey, we're going to come take this fort, place some explosives by the wall, and then I'll climb up on the wall and shoot them and knock a hole in it and let our army in. And then all the forts are part of the Nemesis system as well, so they're all, you know, unique, and all the fort bosses are unique, and then you can stick your own guy from your own army in as the overlord of that fort, and who you put in there determines how the fort develops.
Nice.
So if you put like a necromancer orc in there, then he'll shroud it in magic, and it'll, you know, do certain things for you that way. Or if you put a...
See, I worry that's taken the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood route of suddenly adding management gameplay.
I think it does have a little bit of management gameplay. It looks like the combat hasn't changed much.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if management gameplay is what I want in my assassination sandbox games.
Yeah, I mean, not positive.
That's what I learned from the Assassin's Creed series as it's gone on. It's like,
I'll say
it's what I said about Assassin's Creed 3. Suddenly we're having to run a farm and building sofas to export. And as I said in the review, sorry, when is this going to get back to stabbing in the face? Which is what I'm here for.
From what I saw from the trailer, it looked very interesting. Just like, let's see who just said that. Yeah, Jim Zero says, now the armies you take over seem to live their lives without you actively commanding them. And it definitely looks interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
Hey, guess what, Maze fans? I'm following the right-hand wall.
Yeah, somebody brought that up in chat just a second ago.
That's how you do mazes.
Bearden Kane asks, speaking of Assassin's Creed, considering they took a break from the series, what time setting or events would you like to see Assassin's Creed do?
Oh, I don't care. I just want the game to be fun again. It doesn't matter what time setting it is as long as the game's good. It has never mattered what time and setting the game's in. You can make an intriguing story out of being a sewage worker in Rickmansworth in the 1960s. It's just how you write it. It's just the characters you put in it. You know, sitcoms, situation comedies. This is some advice I was once given when I was like when I was trying to work on a sitcom pilot to submit to the BBC. They said, don't think about the setting, don't think about the situation, like counterintuitively enough, because all that matters is the funny characters. And it's true, isn't it? I mean, people like Parks and Rec, people like the IT Crowd, which are all situation comedies in a specific situation, but it's the characters that make it worth watching.
That's true. It is.
And it's all this fucking like talk about, ooh, what would you like a game to be in? It's like missing the point completely. It's part of the stupid hype machine, and it's just counterproductive to think about it, really. Sorry, that was a very Gabriel sort of answer to the question, sort of complaining about the question itself, but it's how I feel.
Hairless Morgan says, aren't they working on Assassin's Creed Empire, which is supposedly set in ancient Egypt?
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes, I've heard that. Who fucking cares, really? Anyway, was ancient Egypt an empire? It was a monarchy. It was a monarchy. I know that.
I guess you could call it an empire. I mean, it's like
hey,
this.
New royal bow. I'll have that.
I hope that they make an Assassin's Creed game that is fun to play and doesn't get old after the first hour.
Yeah.
But that was what was wrong with 4. I mean, Assassin's Creed 4 was good in the beginning. In the first couple hours, you were like, Jesus Christ.
The sailing was good.
Yeah, the sailing bit and taking over the forts and everything. The first time you did them, you're like, wow, this is a great idea. And then you had to do it 47,000 times, and it got old as shit. Yeah. So, Teasel says, Yahtzee, your inventory is full of shit. What the fuck are you supposed to do with all that stuff? Carry it around.
Yeah,
and
carry
eat
it around, cook it, usually.
Pretty
the
typical.
monster parts you can cook with like, what is it you cook with monster parts? Like,
you can make elixirs and stuff with them.
Yeah, I forget what you have to cook with them to make elixirs.
Oh yeah, you throw them in a pot with some stuff and you make elixirs. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
Basically, that's gonna drive me mad. I'm gonna look at it. No, it's not mushrooms. It's not the chew jelly. Well, whatever. You cook something with monster parts and it makes elixirs. You can cook rocks, actually. I got some luminous stone. I could cook that if I wanted, because it's a sandbox, bitch.
You can also exchange monster parts with a dodgy guy in a lake.
Yeah, so I met that guy.
7.
I met that guy once. I haven't found him again since. Seems to move around a bit. Boy, this is what you came to this stream for, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Fun Zelda adventures in identical Rise of the Triad style maze.
It's a less gunplay.
Don't know what to tell you guys. I'm following the right hand wall as fast as I can.
It's got to take us somewhere eventually, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we found a royal bow. That was exciting. We killed some jellies. Oh, there's a break the right hand wall rule for a second because there's a chest. Ooh, a royal broadsword. I might as well dump something for that. Yeah, this thing's the shit. This thing's kind of crap.
To Yahtzee, what do you think of the upcoming game Prey?
I ain't got no opinion because I haven't played it. Don't buy into hype. Piss off. Ask me about games I have played. Well, except not games I'm going to review soon.
Except for the ones we mentioned earlier that are coming in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm playing Nier Automata quite flat out. Got to my first ending of the game yesterday.
I was going to say, how long is it?
Well, I got to the end credits and then they said, hey, maybe you should play the game through again. So dutifully I did, and suddenly it's a whole new game where you're playing as a different character. So I'm on that stage. This looks like I can get up here. Well, the right-hand principle is taking me up, so I will continue this way.
I'm going to answer this one for you. Braxy29 asks Yahtzee, are you ever looking forward to a particular game? No.
Quite, yeah. I mean, I've been a reviewer for years, so I know every new game that comes out I'm going to play.
Pretty much, yeah.
Simple as that, really. So there's no real point in getting excited about anything. Blimey, this maze is chock-a-block with fun weapons.
Here's a good question.
Blade's about to break.
Ivalera asks, is there any game you'd like to play again just for fun?
Oh, there's plenty of games I play again for fun. I recently replayed Aria of Sorrow again. As I said, I've been playing Kero Blaster just for fun. Probably don't intend to review that. I played through all the Arkham games recently just for fun. And trying to get all the Riddler trophies this time. Funny thing is, when I am playing for fun, I do tend to quite enjoy 100% completion games. Along those lines. I don't know, I just find something satisfying about an uncomplicated task that goes on for ages. I just don't really like doing that sort of thing when I'm reviewing a game, because obviously I have to review it in a limited time. I've only got like
it's very difficult when
a
you're
week's worth of sessions.
And I often find that if I'm reviewing something, I'll go back. If I do go back and play it again, I find that I miss so many things trying to get through it.
Yeah.
You know, nothing major, but it's always the little things that you miss.
So I suppose the question is this the sort of game I would play again for fun to 100% it? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't really feel, maybe because I'm just recently stopped playing it, but I don't really feel the need to do so. It might be because it's not that uncomplicated a task, because you have to find all the side quests and stuff by yourself.
Right.
That was what kind of made me stop playing Arkham Knight when I was replaying it recently, is that after a while the Riddler informants just stopped appearing on one particular island where I was still missing a couple of trophies, and I really couldn't be asked, like, searching every inch trying to find the bloody things, when I could just find when all the other ones I was just finding by going to their icon on the map.
Jimmy Hotpants wants to know if your enjoyment of video games has decreased due to your job. Like if you were a barista, when you might get sick of coffee.
No, God bless you, no. No, I'm still a big video game playing fan. I wouldn't still play them for fun if I wasn't. And every now and again a new game comes out that reminds me why I'm doing this. Every now and again there's an Undertale, or a Big Off the Line.
And you never know when that game's going to be.
No, you never know. You never know. I'm quite pleasant. I know I said I wouldn't give stuff away, but I'm quite pleasantly surprised by how much I'm enjoying Nier Automata at present. That's still subject to change. I'm still playing it.
Are there any reviews you later found where you went back and thought you were too harsh on a game, or not harsh enough?
Caesar, was the big center bit the place I was supposed to be? I'm not sure it was.
I saw somebody earlier in chat say that the exit to this place is in the top left. So,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's big center places where I was before. That's where you start. What am I doing in game? I'm exploring this map. I'm trying to get to a shrine. Well, if it goes on much longer, I might pack it in, because this is taking too long. But hey, if you like cereal box maze puzzles, this game's got you covered.
Oh yeah.
Hey, thorns. I know what to do with them.
I don't remember the answer to this question, but I've seen it before. Yahtzee! Are there any animes or mangas that you have watched or read recently?
No.
That's what I thought the answer was.
Oh, actually, I have been reading. See, I still browse on the Something Awful forums now and again, and there's a thread for like obscure comics on there, and where people just pay like a few pages at a time. and I've been reading a couple of mangas on there. I've been reading an interesting one called Pluto that's sort of a retelling of one of the original Astro Boy stories, but in a gritty setting. Gritty sort of Blade Running style, which has been kind of fun. So there you go. I've been reading a manga. I've been reading that one.
There you go. Big Image wants to know, Yahtzee, which one of your books would you like to see adapted into a movie or TV show, if at all?
I don't know. I guess Jam, because it's set in Brisbane, and it'd be nice for the Brisbane film industry to get some props. Help the local guys. I don't need to be firing flame arrows anymore. Hey, I think this might be it. Yes! Haha! The right hand rule pays off again.
Ding ding. So here's my question for you, Yahtzee, because I'm curious. What was your take on the art style they chose for Breath of the Wild?
It's interesting. I'd almost call it an amalgamation of every Zelda art style.
Yeah,
that's probably why they can reproduce those Wind Waker Korok dudes pretty much as was. Because it's got the cell shading, but it's also got the sort of faintly realistic proportions of your Twilight Princesses and stuff. But it's, you know, it's bright, it's dark, you can tell what everything is. It works.
Here's Travel 800 asks Yahtzee, is there any game you would recommend? Spec Ops The Line, Undertale, maybe Portal 2.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of games I've liked. Hey, I got a new hat. Oh, nice. It's a doozy. It's got it increases my attack. I'll have that.
Hegan asks, what do you think about the soundtrack for Spec Ops The Line? And then are there any other soundtracks for games that you hold in high regard? I
don't specifically remember the soundtrack for Spec Ops The Line, which again is usually the sign of a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
But Undertale's got a really good soundtrack. You know, the first game I ever played that I remember really liking the music was Creatures 2 on the Commodore 64. It's amazing what they could do with
back a couple years.
Amazing what they could do with the sound chip if they put their mind to it. But yeah, Undertale's got. I got an email the other day that they've just released like a classical piano versions of the Undertale soundtrack. Well, they're working on it, something like that.
Huh.
Well, those Seeker robots didn't do shit. Alright, I'm determined to find a shrine I haven't done that actually has a shrine puzzle in it now, so we can demonstrate those. Let's see. Oh, there's a shrine in the fiery place that I haven't done, I think. Oh, there's a shrine in the deserty place I haven't done. So all roads lead to sweating our balls off. Oh, hang on, there's a nice simple one in the countryside. Yeah, Hotline Miami's got some good music. Laughing CH.
There are lots of games that do very well with soundtracks. Very well.
K Samurai 1 asks Yahtzee, what's the first game I ever played? Well, this is gonna date me. But the first game I remember playing was a game called Pickaxe Pete on the Magnavox Odyssey. Or as it was called in the country we were in, the Philips Video Pack.
Yeah, that's going back a few days.
Quite a bit, isn't it? Yes, let's all laugh at how old I am. Haha, he's over 30.
You're younger than me, so don't feel bad.
Let's skateboard off somewhere cool away from the old bastard, guys.
The first, I guess for me, like the first actual like game that I ever sat down and played was probably one of the text adventures, one of the Zork games.
Yeah.
Again,
yes. Jimmy Hot Pants mentions Katamari Damacy for the soundtrack. I'll second that. Great soundtrack on those games. I just love doing the last mission of We Love Katamari over and over again, just because it's like 20 minutes long and the music's great. Where you have to go from street level to like rolling up planets and stars and gods. Hey, a white bokoblin. I'm gonna kill your ass. Whoa,
Sinacade says, let's all laugh at someone older just so we can feel our own age more distinctly down the line. It's actually kind of interesting to look back at that, because I've gotten to watch games go from just words on a screen to, you know, the stuff we're playing now.
Oh, what do you know? The Master Sword's running low on energy. And there it goes. Your Master Sword has run out of energy. Better stick it back on the charger. There you go. That's what we put all the work in for, guys. That's the Master Sword experience.
Put all that work in so that you have to... Can you get like a...
Oh, hey, that guy had a ruby.
It's a shame you can't get like a portable battery for the Master Sword and upgrade its...
It's almost like it was... Master Sword was invented by a company that's not very good with battery life.
Yeah. It's Samsung. The battery doesn't last very long, but at least it doesn't explode.
Well, it kind of did there.
Yeah. True.
Whenever a weapon runs out, the last hit is always sort of explodey and knocks the enemies back.
Hairless Worgen asked if I remember playing Colossal Cave Adventure. If you're talking about Colossal Cave Adventure for the Commodore 64, then yes, I do.
Yes. I had the Commodore 64 after I had a Philips video pack.
Yeah.
I remember my parents just were trying to toss up whether they were going to get us a Commodore 64 or a Nintendo Entertainment System. And that decision, I think, changed the whole course of my life. Because it was, of course, on the Commodore 64 that I first discovered both narrative gameplay and home programming.
Yeah. Well, the really interesting thing about Colossal Cave Adventure was loosely based on... Mammoth Cave, which is in Kentucky, which I happen to live there, so it was doubly interesting to me. So
Jumbly Wobbly says, this is really not selling me on a Switch. They imported a lot of Sandbox content I don't care for. Yeah, that's fair enough. You're lucky we got past the bit where we had to climb the towers to unlock the map.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've been playing Zelda on the Wii U, so
Yeah.
I have not bought into the Switch yet, and I'm watching you play it, and watching the stream of you playing it, it looks exactly like the Wii U version. So
Yeah, I mean, there's not much in terms of graphical hardware between the two systems, is there?
not much. If you don't have,
Hey,
well, God,
a puzzle!
sweet. If you don't have $500 laying around to drop on a Switch in Zelda,
Yeah. Well, maybe the new Mario will change things.
well, the next Switch game, I guess, is Splatoon 2 is the big one. The next big one.
Bah. Who cares? Bah. All right.
So what about?
It's one of these situations.
I take it that you didn't care for the first Splatoon game.
I'm just not a multiplayer shooter guy. It was all right for a multiplayer shooter. I wouldn't, play much more of it.
Right.
Actually, I quite like the fact that, being good at shooting wasn't the be-all and end-all, and I could ensure a victory for my team just for hanging around at the back, using the paint roller on all the bits of floor everyone missed.
Yeah.
Like the diligent janitor in the home base.
Let's see. Mockneeks asks, so no real difference between the Switch and the Wii U. Is there a reason to pick up Switch if you already have a Wii U? Right now, I would say no.
No, I would say definitely not.
I mean, if you don't have a Wii U and you have to play Zelda, like, right now,
Then calm the fuck
get
down.
a Switch, I guess. Yeah, or calm the fuck down, one
Yeah.
of the two. But, that's sort of the thing is the Switch right now is a $500 Zelda machine. And I say $500 because
Isn't every Nintendo console these days a $500 Nintendo game machine?
well, yeah, true. I mean, this one right now is a $500 Zelda machine. It's $300 for the Switch. It's another $70 for a Pro controller if you want that. $60 for Zelda. Screen protector and all that good stuff if you want it to keep it from you from destroying it. You never know. You can end up without a whole. You can spend a whole lot of money really fast. That's what I'm getting at.
I was thinking it would help if I figured out where this ball is supposed to be going. But I found a thing that turns around.
Danelli Yassini mentions if you don't have a Wii U, you have no choice but to get a Switch for Zelda because they stopped making the Wii U. You may or may not be aware, but there are places where you can still purchase a Wii U.
Yes, they're called scabby pawn shops for scabs.
Yes. Also GameStop, but kind of the same thing, honestly.
Alright, I think I see where this is going. Oh, hang on, there's some boxes in the way. I better take care of those first. Box clever, you see? I don't. Yeah, I'll just burn the little box there, and away we go. Where'd I put that ball? Always misplacing me balls. That's Pepper's problem.
K Samurai 1 says, when do you think Nintendo will have its year? If you mean it's the year where it finally becomes
Hasn't Nintendo kind of had its year? Like
yes,
maybe when it was
Wii.
Yeah, maybe when the NES took over the Western games industry after the collapse caused by, amongst other things, ET for the Atari 2600.
Yes.
That was Nintendo's day. They made the most of that. That's why Nintendo became such a huge force in Western games.
Yes. I also think it's worth noting that, I think that for as good as the success of the Wii was for Nintendo, that the success of the Wii actually hurt them in a lot of ways.
Yeah. It hurt the games industry a lot as well, actually, because it got everyone fixated on motion controls for a while.
Motion controls and, all the gimmicky kind of stuff that it... And Nintendo has not gotten away from it yet.
No.
They've yet to get...
Still trying to find the next hardware gimmick. This time that we're hoping it's handheld and living room in one.
Yeah, well, I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The Switch is just the last two gimmicks rolled into one. So.
Hold the phone. Slugroll says, I was just fiddling with the selfie mechanic in this game. Yahtzee's wrong. You absolutely can have Link strike stupid poses. Tell me how. I'm all ears.
Wow, you solved it.
I'm pressing all the buttons. That wasn't it. That was firing an arrow.
Wiggle the stick.
Oh, that's how you do it. Look, we can have him do the Macarena. Look at him go. Now he's cupping an ancient corpse's balls. Ha 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 ha.
Well, everybody's got to pass the time somehow.
Well, what do you know? I'm still learning new things about this game. It must be an incredibly deep experience. Cynicade says, wow, look at all those poses. It's like Nintendo really wanted him to show off his personality. Yeah, or lack of same. I detected the sarcasm there. But that's one of the things I hold Wind Waker in such high esteem, is that despite still being a silent protagonist, generic hero type guy, Link actually does have a personality in that game. Mostly visual, yes, but unmistakable nonetheless. He's, he's a kid, gets overly excited, he's a little bit thick.
Firesparks asks, Yahtzee, can you go interact with Zelda?
No. No, she's currently in the castle trying to save us all from Ganondorf, I'm afraid.
Valera says, Selfie, Season Pass, Open World Sandbox. Is this an Ubisoft game?
Ha ha
Well,
ha.
you know.
Ha 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 ha. Probably, yeah. And don't forget towers.
Yeah, you haven't seen the bit where you have to climb the towers to unlock the map, but trust me,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah. What fun that was. Alright, there's another dungeon up here. Let's do that one as well. Who cares? Bill Nandez asks, what was this I heard about female Link? Well, there's no female Link in this game, but you can dress up as a female Link and disguise yourself as a woman to get into certain areas. Ladies' bathrooms, that kind of thing. And here we are at Hebra Tower. Not Zebra Tower, that's a different thing. Oh, there's the shrine. Oh, I just noticed I'm freezing my balls off. Time to put sweater back on. Needed 2 sweaters that time.
Teasel, Yahtzee, are the towns in this game interesting?
Depends how you define interesting, I suppose. There's characters in them, some of them have side quests. That's about it, really. Hope you like fetching stuff.
I only wish that they would embrace that, you know, and like have a brown UPS outfit that you can get.
Hey, hold the phone. Is that another shrine over there? It's orange and it's glowing. Better find out. As soon as I'd hit the ground, it's probably going to be out of sight, isn't it?
Probably.
Yep, thought as much. Ah, hey. It's a guy with an ice gimmick, so let's stick a fire arrow up his bum. And help, preferably without being frozen ourselves, I mean. Ah, there you go. Fire arrows, instant kill, ice-based enemies. Fun tips with your pal Yahtzee. Yes, over there. Ah yes, that is another shrine. I shall now demonstrate marking things on your map. Now it is marked. I can go to the map, but I'm going to change that to a stamp because you have limited pins. And now we know where a shrine is and can go there at our leisure. Orienteering. I was in the Boy Scouts. Oh hey, there's a horsey over here.
Is it your horse?
No, I mean a horsey stable. A horsey building. A building with a horse on the top. And there's a cute little doggy. I want to stroke the fat-faced dog. Why can't I stroke the fat-faced dog? Why can I not bum the fat-faced dog? Oh, well the dog loves me, I guess.
Hegan asks if you have any opinion on the MMO War Thunder.
No.
That's kind of what I figured.
Hey, this is the closest thing I've got to a bone. Do you want it? Yeah, we're best pals.
If you give the dog in the game a bone and start petting it, does Pepper get jealous? That's the question we all want to answer.
Well, so far, the answer is no. We'll let you know if we discover any update. Any side questy lads in here? Hey, there's one.
Captain Trips asks, does Yahtzee play WoW? No.
No, I did for a while. That was like part of the inspiration for Mogworld, my first book, but not for a long time. I played an undead mage, fittingly enough.
Huh, imagine that.
Okay, I need to take a picture of a stall horse. That is the side quest here.
Chad is asking for a Pepper update.
Oh, Pepper currently lying on the couch next to me. Oh, actually, Pepper was a bit sick today. He puked first thing in the morning.
Yeah, he had too much fun last night.
Oh, presumably. He did have a bit of a nasty bout of Guardia a couple of weeks back, but the vet gave him the clean bill of health. Well, it wasn't very much puke. Maybe he just got excited. He seems to be alright now. He's holding his breakfast down.
Of course, Super Skull Guy. I'm sorry, excuse me. Super Skull Guy wants to know if you're going to do anything with your personal YouTube channel. I believe that's a solid no as well.
No.
Renoya Shrine.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what this one will be.
I'm guessing puzzle, and I'm correct. Ball in hole puzzle again. There's a lot of these.
There's a good question, Yahtzee. If you shoot an ice-based enemy with an ice arrow, does it hurt them?
I can't remember offhand. I think it just does very small amounts of damage.
I'm going to tell you, that has been in something that really bugs me for really stupid reasons. So when I play a game and there's like a fire-based enemy and I hit it with fire and it takes damage, I get unreasonably upset about it.
Well, you'd take damage if someone slapped you in the face with a stake.
Well, I'm thinking, not so much as far as like a fire sword, but like if I'm playing an undead mage and I throw a fireball at a fire-based enemy and it takes damage, I'm like, eh. Rod Hope says, is it just me or is Snipper Clips mildly suggestive? From what Yahtzee was telling me, it's more than mildly.
Well, yes. If you watch the stream I did with my glamorous assistant on Sunday, we played some local co-op Snipper Clips, and the number of suggestive moments in there were pretty insane. I think I see how this puzzle works. We have to get the ball into the hole while we're standing there and blow it in there with all the wind that's blowing around. But we don't want it to go in here, so we will move this block in such a way that it does not. How does that sound for a slice of fried gold?
I feel like you're on top of things here.
Alright, let's try this.
Necronic asks, do all the temples look the same or just the two we just saw?
Oh, wait a second, I know what to do. I have to put this thing in front of this blower here.
You will find there is a lot of repetition.
Yeah, I mean all these micro dungeons have the exact same decor.
Yeah.
So that probably needs to be blocked as well.
Teasel asks Yahtzee, has this game surprised you at all? In any way, shape, form, or fashion?
I ended up quite liking Princess Zelda as a character. Once I'd seen all the photo cutscenes that you get from finding the photo locations. She's not just what she was in Twilight Princess, which was just generic princess lady. Save her. She's actually got, her own things she wants to do with her life. She's insecure. She's scientifically minded.
Hello.
Ah! You took your time.
Yeah, oh! It's now?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I thought it was like 30 minutes from now. Wow.
It ends 30 minutes from now, you
yeah.
Oh my god.
You idiot.
Damn it.
Although we were a bit late starting, so I might hang around for a bit longer.
Alright, that's good.
Oh, it looks like you nailed it there, yes. That's perfect.
A Rainford 7 says, didn't you find Zelda's voice annoying? I guess it was doing a bit of that whole breathy, whimpery Tomb Raider voice. But,
They have voices now, don't they?
The personality that was conveyed was sort of interesting, and it sort of goes along with the the fact that she's supposed to have a certain weakness of character about her.
New guy's audio is peaking a bit. I'll try to fix that.
Yeah, definitely sound a bit piggy there. New guy is Ian Chung, by the way.
Thank you. What do they mean by peaking?
The waveforms flattening out, so you sound like this. Ah!
Oh.
That's actually perfect. Perfect.
All right, let me fix that. Okay, this should be
That's
better.
much better. Yes, that
is much better.
It was like set to 100. I set it down to 30.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
Right, what was that other one we saw? Shrine-wise, might as well get a horse since the stable's here.
You marked it, so
yeah. Don't want to keep checking the map. I like to think I have some orienteering skills. No, just
you have some orienteering skills, but when you come up out of those shrines and stuff, it's hard to get reoriented.
They're cursing you, Yahtzee.
No, they're cursing you.
Hey, Pepper's suddenly decided to sit up all of a sudden and stare at me, and I'm not sure why.
Dogs.
I took you out earlier, Pepper, remember? You had a great big poo. Are you going to be sick again?
How many horses can you have in your stable?
I think it's 5, I want to say. I don't know, I only felt the need for one, and then I got this one in a side quest, and still feel no need for any more ones. You've got this game yourself, I take it, Ian?
No, I don't have a Switch. I scalped mine. Yes.
Oh yeah, you mentioned, didn't you, on the last...
Yep. I'd be playing it right now, but, well, I don't have it. I'll get one eventually.
Well, look at me playing it now, jealous.
I've even playing it on the Wii U, and I don't have a Switch, so what's your excuse there?
Well, I don't have a Wii U either, so there you go.
Listen, don't come to me with your troubles, kid.
I'd get a Wii U, but there's nothing to play on it besides,
Oh my god, and you're talking about getting a Switch?
I know. Well, like I said, eventually,
I said right that way, you willful horse.
Rod Hope is asking if you are going to be doing anything with Stardew Valley's multiplayer.
Hadn't planned to. I mean, I don't know anyone else with a Switch, for one thing.
Well, it's also coming to PC and other things, is my understanding.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
what, Stardew Valley's multiplayer?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if that's the sort of game you'd want to play multiplayer. I mean, it's just a thing just to pass the time with a nice, unchallenging, farm management little thing. I don't really feel the need to share my farm with someone else.
It seems a little odd to me that you would want to play Stardew Valley.
I think it'd be like Animal Crossing, where you can visit people's homes and then just fuck around, but not really do much.
Yeah, and I didn't really get much use out of that.
No, you don't. Like, I mean, I've done it a few times with some friends, but it's just like a one-time thing. You don't really want to visit them every single day. Like you visit their farm and it's like, oh yeah, this is cool, and then you don't visit them anymore, and you just stick to your own farm and you develop it. It's not really a social game. There's no point.
Yeah. Oh, bugger. Damn!
So Stardew Valley multiplayer is actually coming to PC first, before Switch. It will not be... When Stardew Valley comes to Switch, it will not have multiplayer. So.
Oh, I forgot. I had that mystical power I got from a dungeon that gives me all my health back if I lose it all. I don't want it.
Full of mystical power.
I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to get to the fucking shrine. Piss off.
Since Jombly Wobbly's ranting about my volume, I lowered it even more.
I just wanted a picture of the horsey man.
50% now, Jombly.
Good lord.
Alright. Unlike some games I could mention, there's auto-saving.
That's good.
And thank God for that.
Oh, yeah, I was about to ask you, is there any autosaving? Because it would suck if...
Yeah. I bring it up
Yeah.
because I've been playing Nier Automata.
Oh, yeah, me too. There's no autosaves in that. Oh, it's rough.
That was such a bitch. You know what? No, another thing. Oh, fucking Keith. Fucking Keith the Keith. I'm gonna fire arrow your ass if you're not careful. Or I'll just let you hit me again.
How do you get killed?
Apparently I'm a twat.
It seemed like you took 2 hits and you died.
Yeah, because that guy does like 10 million billion damn hearts of damage.
Dang.
Alright, fuck you, horse. Stay there.
You're getting killed by some Zubat here.
Yeah.
Well, 15 seconds delayed.
Yeah.
But yeah. Bedinsis asks a pretty good question. He asks, how did the phrase game over become so common? It's not even grammatically correct.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I seem to know,
I mean, I know...
There's a lot of games that say you're dead these days.
Right, yeah, because
Thanks,
of
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, yeah.
And then there was that weird case of Symphony of the Night, which the game over phrase is... What was it? Let us go out this evening for pleasure, the night is still young.
Yep.
I've died quite a few times in Symphony of the Night, so I remember that very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Yahtzee Floatran asks, have you
Oh,
played
name's
any
you.
of the classic roguelikes, such as Rogue, NetHack, Doom RL, stuff like that?
No, not really.
I
That was
played
a bit-
Ivan. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's rough because there's like body part damage and stuff that most roguelikes don't have. It's really hard. Like you can't even get to level 2, you know. That's how hard it is.
Blimey.
Yeah.
What have
like a-
we got here, puzzle-wise? Looks like...
It's the Dark Souls of roguelikes.
Aha, I think I get the idea. We're supposed to put this block up and presumably freeze it in time before it falls back down, which is harder than it sounds.
Yeah, as I was about to point out, and Chopstick's gonna beat me to it, game over, you know, is more or less popularized by aliens, you know, when Bill Hicks says, game over, man, game over!
Yeah, he didn't invent it, though.
No,
I
he
was
didn't
around
invent it,
way
yeah, he
before
was-
that.
He was playing video games or something, right? I mean, I remember
I don't
reading
know.
somewhere that he was playing video games, and it just came to mind. He ad-libbed the whole thing. It wasn't actually in the script.
Huh.
Great actor, just, you know, he just passed away.
Ah yes, Bill Paxton.
Bill
Yeah.
Paxton, not Bill Hicks. What am I saying Bill Hicks for?
Because Hicks is another character from Alien.
Yep.
presumably.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Hicks. He played Hicks. Yeah, it's Bill
Yeah.
Paxton.
It largely came about
No,
because...
Hicks was Michael Bean.
yeah,
Oh!
Michael Bean's
Oh,
character.
yeah, that's right. Fuck. What was his name? His character.
Michael Bean
Paxton.
was
Hudson.
Hicks. Yeah, and
He's
Yeah,
Hudson, yeah.
Paxton was Hicks. There you go.
Shit. It's a good movie.
Here's a question for you, Yahtzee. When you're reviewing a game, do you do the side quests or just the main story?
Well, I usually start out doing side quests, but as the week draws on, I realise I got to get through it. I usually like prioritize the main story over everything else.
Mm-hmm. You feel
Yeah.
that way here in this game?
Well, that's the thing about this game, isn't there? There is no main story. You can just go straight to the final boss and win.
Mm.
But I did complete all 4 of the dungeons, which knocks off half the final boss's health bar by the time you get to him,
Ah.
and did a whole bunch of shrines and things.
Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of...
I got the Master Sword as well, and I got the 12 thing,
Mhm.
the 12 pictures.
all the collectibles.
Oh, bugger! I was too late.
It says you have 13.31% of the game completed.
Oh,
13.
fucking hell! I thought I'd done quite a lot. I mean, I
Well,
got
don't
No,
forget, this
apparently
is
not.
dungeons, Master Sword. I even got all 12 of the fucking photos. And just to remind the newcomers to the stream, on this, take a screenshot of this map if you're playing this game, because every shield icon on the map is a place where I took a picture. And I found it was a bit of an arse finding the places, and obviously there were no FAQs when I was doing it, because I was playing it before release. So that was my gift to the world. Voila.
Nice.
What was I doing? Oh yeah. Sifting through my 10 million different controls. Oh bugger! Too late again. Stop distracting me, everyone.
Yeah, Gizmo Moja, there is a percentage meter. It's in your map. It shows you how much you've done.
To be fair, Yahtzee, though, and this isn't the same save that you finished the game on.
No, this is like the save just before.
Oh.
The save just
Still,
before I finished
wow.
the game.
Mm-hmm. How many hours do you think you put into it to finish it?
Because there isn't a post-ending mode in this game. You just have to reload from just before you fought the final boss.
That kind of sucks. You should put it in. You know, I mean, it wouldn't be hard. Just like put a new game plus or something, or you know, continue.
Oh bugger! I fell off the thing. Oh, well, while it's up, I'll just loot this chest. Oh, hey, a small key. What? Is it as simple as that? You can just get the key from the chest. You know, I kind of assumed it would be harder than that.
Yeah.
Oh well,
I guess not.
Well, I ain't complaining.
Wow, that was misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, you know, you'd have to go up there and jump on the top or something. Guess not. Guess you just needed to lift it up for a short period of time.
Rainfin7 asked, how difficult is the castle memory? That was quite a tricky one. It's like really close to the final boss, the final picture. It's the place that's marked on the map as Zelda's bedroom. It's round about there.
Zelda's bedroom.
So when you sneak in there for a good shufty around and rummage around in her underpants drawer, that's where you want to be taking the picture.
Oh.
How many orbs have we got now? I didn't notice.
I noticed that this is random, but like I noticed you could do a lot of weird stuff in the game that you know that the developers probably didn't intend. Like you know, there's balloons, right?
Well, that's the nature of objects. That's the nature of a good open world game, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I remember, you know, like Deus Ex had the lampet mines, right? You could use them to scale walls and get to places you can others go to.
Yeah, it's
very cool.
Bit of a well-known exploit, that one.
Yep. Emergent gameplay, and Zelda has it in spades. I saw a video of a guy attached like 4 balloons on a raft, and he created like a flying raft.
Yeah, well, the game's kind of set up for finding your own solutions for things. There's
cool.
A lot of dungeons where you know you have to move fire around, and you can actually, if you've brought enough fire arrows with you, you can just use those and all the torches you're supposed to light, and bam, instantly won.
Ah, so you can skip all the puzzles and stuff that you know.
Yeah, if you're a well-prepared hero.
Right.
Just in those specific cases, of course. But yeah, you can climb pretty much everything, so there's a lot of stuff you can just bypass.
Yeah, that's good. It's you know, it's tempting to just do that. It's you know, to just be like a well-prepared hero, and it's also tempting to just you know just play the game the developers intended. You know, just to see how they did the puzzles.
Well, that's the funny thing, isn't it? Because what the developer intended was for this to be an open-world game where you could find your own way to things.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, I've always thought that was an interesting phrase, what the developer intended. Because once you hand me your game, what you intend doesn't enter into it.
Well, that's the old
death of the author.
Yeah, death of the author. I was about to say the old death of the author argument.
Yep. I think Harvey Smith or one of the other developers, maybe it was Warren Spector, they had a pretty good talk about that, about emergent gameplay and how that's kind of like the future of video games. You know, like good video games is they allow players to do whatever the hell they want, and the developers just create the tools that allow players to express themselves within the game's world through mechanics and such.
I guess it depends on how specific the vision of the creator is. I mean,
right.
I mean, it wouldn't work with something like Spec Ops: The Line because there's a very specific, or Silent Hill 2, because there's a very specific story the developers want to tell there.
Correct. But it would work with Dishonored.
Yeah,
I think
with an open-ended game where you can find your own solutions.
Yeah, or this, the Zelda. Yeah.
Heart container or stamina vessel. Not particularly in desperate need for either. I've already got the Master Sword. Oh, what the hell. I haven't run out of stamina in a while. Been running out of hearts a fair bit.
I don't think the extra heart's going to help you if that great big guy slaps you in the face again.
Well, quite. Well, you know, he knocked me down to 1 heart, so if I hadn't had that many hearts, that would have been an instant kill. So we have that going for it, I suppose.
But Dinsis has an interesting question for you. He asks, Ocarina of Time lets you play an ocarina. Wind Waker allows you to direct the wind as if it were an orchestra. If there is a musical instrument in a future Zelda game, what would you like it to be?
A tenor saxophone.
A grand piano.
Oh, yeah?
You just gotta cut it around
because you
on
want to
your
see
back.
him carry it?
Yeah.
Yeah. A one-man grand piano. Okay.
Yes.
Well, this one man. But yeah.
And in order to turn on the parachute, then right after the tower, you jump off the tower and then whip the piano out and play Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata before you hit the ground. And that's how the parachute
and if you
works.
miss, and it's a rock band rhythm matching thing.
Yeah.
So if you miss one, you just splat.
That would be fun.
I think Wind Waker probably nailed it, you know, with the orchestra thing. Like, you can't get bigger than an orchestra.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of screwed themselves into a corner there by making it an orchestra. It's like can't really get much better than that.
Well, you say orchestra. It was really just a thing that went raw.
True. Yeah, it's got, you know, they could probably do a lot more with it now with, you know, better controllers and stuff.
Well, let's go to the fiery lava land since we just were in a snowy place.
Yeah, why not?
Discovering all the kinds of shrines today.
Digilapio 3 lit. Bro,
What?
I can't pronounce it. He said, "Why not a church organ?"
Well, that's just impractical.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. What kind of stupid idea is that? He'd break his back carrying that around. I think you need to think harder about things before you open your mouth.
I wish they'd make Link wear one of those little one-man band get-ups where he has the giant bass drum on his back and, you know, the cymbals on his knees. And
Well, they sort of did that in Majora's Mask, didn't they? When you're playing as the what's his name, the big
The mask guy.
yeah, the big rocky dude, the Goron.
Yeah.
He's got a
Yeah, the
jump
Goron.
kit, sort of. All right, there's
Bagpipes.
There's ostensibly a shrine this way somewhere. Oh, yeah, the little radar's corroborating the story. Oh, and I'm about to catch fire, so I better put on my fireproof gear.
Indeed. They're all, you know, chat saying, "Oh my, time to watch Yahtzee on fire."
If you're playing this game and you're having trouble finding the fireproof gear, like I did, stop looking. It's actually in the middle of the area where you need fireproof gear. You have to go to the Goron City for it. So before you get there, you have to get by with recipes that give you the fireproof effect. Oops, wrong.
That seems very
button there.
practical.
Well, you know, there's a lot of recipes you need to cook in this game.
It's like Metroid Other M, you know, where what was it, a fireproof gear?
Oh, yeah. Going
You
into
remember
the
that fucking
fireproof
mission?
place going into the fiery place and only learning about the fireproof mode halfway through the fiery place.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Like,
the comparison.
thanks a lot. Yeah,
I mean,
thanks a
this
lot for
is-
unlocking it.
this is kind of the MO whenever you have fireproof gear. I mean, even in games like World of Warcraft, you had to go into the fiery places to get the fireproof gear. And get
That's
better
right.
At the fiery
Yeah,
places.
Yeah, you had to go to, what was it? It was, you know where the tower is, right? The upper Blackrock Spire and stuff.
Yeah,
You
well,
had to harvest that whole goddamn place just to get the fire gear that would allow you to do those raids, right? The harder versions of those raids. Others you just burn to death.
Yeah, and in Dark Souls you have to fight the centipede demon in a huge lava arena before you can get the ring that protects you from lava.
Yeah, at which point it becomes useless.
Well, it gets you to the next part of the game.
True.
And you have to fight like 19 Taurus demons.
Yeah.
Ooh, that pesky Izalith.
Rotho points out there's no updraft in the thing.
Oh,
when
look
you're
at Captain
fighting.
Pedant, Science Pedant over here. Yeah, technically we should be roasted to death the instant we're within range of lava. But
Yeah.
hey, it's fantasy worlds. There is no convection in fantasy worlds.
Yeah.
Also, no convection in that one room in Resident Evil 4 where there's all the lava flying about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being next to lava in a volcano is one thing. Being in a enclosed room with lava, that's like being in a microwave.
Yeah, or furnace.
Yeah.
Same thing, right? Yeah. You'd be cooked.
What's this all
I don't
about
cook in
then?
my furnace, but that's just me.
It's convection, as some people are pointing out here.
Yeah, that's what I said, convection.
Yep.
How heat spreads out to fill the space that it's in.
Correct. So tea is made.
Yeah, we know our science here on the Escapist stream.
We're very
don't know,
convicted about our knowledge of convection.
I'll be honest. I don't want to speak out of turn, but Ian did just say something about cooking in a furnace. So I don't know about his science credentials, but you know, it's whatever you want to do.
Well, you sort of cook pizza in something that's sort of a furnace.
It's a kiln, right? Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It's a brick oven, man.
Same thing.
Same thing, different word for it, but yes.
Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. I guess we have to... I guess these are scales, and we have to break some of the stuff weighing down the scales.
TH 1998 asks the important question: who designed these bullshit death dungeons?
Well, Nintendo. Duh.
Ha! Duh, yeah. I know it doesn't ever make any sense why any of these dungeons have like the layouts that they do, but they do, and it's because of video games.
This is established in canon. Actually, they have a character saying that these dungeons, their only purpose is to test the hero.
Ah.
I mean, personally, I don't know why they're so picky in Hyrule. I mean, surely if anyone defeats Ganon, it does the job all right.
Yeah.
I mean, you just want the guy dealt with, right?
Right. Why does it have to be this ridiculous test?
I feel like there's somewhere around here. There's a GLaDOS robot that's giggling madly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reference.
Bullshit death dungeons. When Indiana Jones had those too. Movies have done those for ages and ages. So it's not really a video game thing so much as it is a fiction thing. I mean, novels had them. Shannara, if you ever read those, they're death dungeons.
Hey, there was a key on this. Now I can get these heavy weights. This is all coming together now.
Teasel asks Yahtzee, how do you feel about the combat in this game? I'm interested to hear this answer. So.
It's touch and go.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sometimes, as I said, because the game is open world and go anywhere from the start, they can't really pace the enemies in terms of what order you find them. So occasionally you'll just stumble across guys who are like 1,000,000 times stronger than you, and there ain't shit you can do about it.
So like The Witcher, basically.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you wander to the south of the map, you're
the
fucked.
combat does get a bit annoying. I mean, Zelda games have never really mastered the targeting thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I've almost always had a problem with targeting controls in every Zelda game. Especially ones with these shitty Nintendo controllers. Holding down the shoulder button does my hand in after a while.
Yeah, if they made like normal controllers, that wouldn't be so much of a problem.
Okay, my depth perception was pissing me about there.
Bill Nandez points out, I have no mouth and I'm a scream was literally about an all-powerful death robot. Yeah, I played that too.
Yeah.
That was a fucked up little game. A fucked up little story.
Sure
Beautiful.
was.
I loved it.
All right.
Imagine standing on the other platform while this thing comes down. You get crushed by the spikes.
Yes, I guess that's the point. So I will put one block on there so that it doesn't smash straight into the spikes, and I shall put 2 blocks on the other thing.
Ah, nice.
As soon as I can get them out this cocking door.
This is actually a pretty smart puzzle if you think about it.
Well, it's
Makes you
it's weighing stuff down. If video game puzzles aren't You know,
I mean,
reflecting the light onto a mirror. It's always weighing stuff down, isn't it?
Yes, it
we've
is.
been doing this. We've been solving this puzzle since Half-Life.
Mm-hmm. Or even longer, you know, if you're... What, Sokoban? They did puzzles like that in, like, the, what, late 80s? Yeah.
It's just occurred to me that the moment I step off this platform, it's going to raise out of my reach.
Alright.
So I will take that off there for now.
Mm-hmm.
And put it by the side, and within easy reach.
Yeah, Jobbly Wobbly points out this is just the Hyrule edition of the gravity gun.
Yeah, well, it only works on metal things, doesn't it? Do you remember shortly after Half-Life 2 came out, and pretty much every game had a gravity gun for a while?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, the Doom 3 expansion had one, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, why not?
It wasn't very memorable, Doom 3. I mean, the expansion for it. Well, the whole game wasn't very memorable, to be honest.
Oh, that was a nail biter. Ah, there we go. Another dungeon solved. This is the majority of the gameplay, by the way.
Just in case
the dungeon
you weren't aware.
gameplay.
Yeah, a million micro dungeons, and once you got 14 hearts, get the master sword and fuck shit up.
It's very deep.
Also, hope you like skipping cutscenes because these little moments at the end of each dungeon take fucking forever. Oh, bless you, oh hero, here is the thing.
He speaks slowly.
Now I will disappear in a very, very slow transition. Yeah, Doom 3 had an expansion. Remember those expansion packs? Before they were called DLC?
Yep.
Resurrection of Evil, 'twas called.
Yes, correct. You started in, I remember the start of it, you had like the skull weapon or something. You could suck souls out of things.
Yeah.
That's about as much as I remember of it.
It wasn't quite as good as Doom 3, which wasn't that great either.
Yep. It was scary at the first, at the start, and then you realize, oh, jump scare. Yeah. It's not scary at all.
Right, let's go to the desert. Yeah.
Vladimir Lestrade asks, why is it a symbol of courage? Shouldn't it be a symbol of logic?
Well, if you're standing on that thing under the spikes, that's courage.
Well, it's
Ben Kane asks Yahtzee random question. In your opinion, what is the most underrated game?
Well, so many games. The one I always have on hand to answer questions like this is Silent Hill 4, which is the game I happen to like, but everyone seems to think is the black sheep of the series. I mean, before they became Western developed and crap. I think Silent Hill 4 has actually got a pretty good story. It's got some pretty mystifyingly bad game design decisions, but I definitely think it's better than Silent Hill 3, which I think is quite overrated.
I don't really hear people praising RE3 as much as RE4.
That's Resident Evil, though.
Yeah, we're talking about Silent Hill here, man.
Oh, shit. Where's my brain? Yeah. Yeah, with Silent Hill, I think most people, for their favorite one, would have to be Silent Hill 2, right?
Yeah, naturally. One of the best psychological horror stories and one of the best interactive narrative experiences generally.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's very hard to overcome that. I mean, to be better than that.
I suppose. I think Silent Hill 4 does a pretty good job of trying something new and interesting and doing its own thing. I mean, the whole concept of the room that you come back to and that eventually the evil starts to penetrate. I think that was rather pretty masterful.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting concept that they played around with quite well. Just a shame that in survival horror, which is about exploration and exploring every nook and cranny for bits and bobs to help you survive, hence the name survival horror, they added indestructible ghosts that just follow you around and harass you the whole time.
That's frustrating.
That was pretty mystifyingly bad design. And the limited inventory where ammo didn't stack, that was also pretty mystifyingly bad design.
Yeah. I would like it if Konami didn't suck and actually, remade these games.
Well,
But
unfortunately,
fuck
we live
Konami.
in a world where they do suck. So you know, hope
Yep.
into one hand, shit into the other, see which one fills up first.
Yep. Instead of giving us, remakes of the good Silent Hills, which they should
Hold
be
on,
doing.
hold on.
I don't
Bearden
know-
Kane says, I'm one of the few people who actually enjoyed Silent Hill Homecoming.
I can see people enjoying it, but it's not. It's
not
very
bad.
weak. It's very weak from a story perspective. They were focusing on the combat gameplay a bit more than they should have done. But if you
Yeah.
liked the combat gameplay, then I can't tell you you're wrong.
Yeah, the combats are pretty decent. I played it.
It's just
But,
it just wasn't the sort of thing I want in my psychological surreal horror.
Right.
Thank you.
It was
very
too
much.
much. Yeah, it was. It felt like like Undying or one of those run-of-the-mill survival horror games. It's not actually very good, but not bad either. But just not Silent Hill.
Yeah.
My
At least they.
my fallback for underrated game is
Whoa! My map just went all screwy. Am I off
What
the
were you
world?
saying?
I must be off the world.
I think you're off the world. Yeah.
Hey, what happens if I jump down this abyss that's off the world?
I don't know.
Probably
What's he saying,
Let's
Ron?
find out. Let's find out what happens. Oh, I land in the desert and get killed by some things. Well,
What were you saying, Ron, about the survival horror? Your favorite or something?
No, I said the most underrated game. My go-to most underrated game is Alpha Protocol.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually. I remember being quietly impressed by that. I mean, the main character was kind of a tool.
It wasn't. It wasn't like this runaway amazing game or anything.
I think it was one of the few games I can think of that actually did the "ooh, your decisions actually change the plot"
Matter, yeah.
thing,
Yep.
and actually pulled that off to a certain extent.
Mhm.
I mean, more than games like that say that usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually
And
it's
bad
your
stuff.
choices make you go. You get either A or B.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
Alpha Protocol
choice
was very
matters.
good at.
Yeah, but it actually mattered. Yeah.
Very good at varying what happened and really having your decisions matter, and the way you built your character really mattered.
Uh-oh. Link's getting a bit sweaty because the desert's too hot. I'd better put on a load of women's clothing so that he's not sweaty anymore.
Can you die in the desert from heat?
Yes,
I think so. You can die from any environmental condition. You just keep losing health until you do.
Oh,
Oh, I
That's
remember you,
crazy.
motherfuckers.
that's fucking crazy. Incredible that they would actually do that in this game.
Why did you say
Okay,
that?
why
I mean, you
why
gotta
is he
give them a-
cross-dressing?
Well, you need this outfit to get into the Gerudo village, which, as all long-term Zelda fans will know, is limited only to women.
Ah,
Only
so
women
he
can
has
get
to-
in. So they run into a big problem every time they need to breed.
Interesting.
And here's an oasis, which incidentally is another one of the story photos you have to take. Although one of the slightly easier ones, because there's only one of these
This
places
is-
and you have to go here.
This is actually quite beautiful. Watching you play here, the Oasis. It's a nice effect.
Yeah. The thing about this game's art is that everything seems to have this slightly washed out filter on it.
it's all flat, very flat looking.
Like they just put a big,
Yeah.
sort of greyish green flat image over the entire game and then applied like a transparency filter.
Yeah, it's like the sort of thing that modders would remove the first
Yeah,
instance. the
yeah,
first
exactly.
time
It's like
they-
the gold filter from Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Yep, the piss filter, as
Yeah,
it was
the piss
popularly
filter.
called.
This is a sort of like baby puke green filter.
Yeah, it's ugly. Like it works in some games. It works in Fallout 4 because it's not it's not too much and it only applies to certain times a day. But
Yeah.
it didn't work in New Vegas. It was too yellow, too greenish yellow. So people removed it. It looked better. And here it's especially bad. Can you pet the dog? Is it
No,
possible?
no, you
yes,
can't.
you can. Yes,
Oh
you
man, 5 out of 10. This game is a 5 out of 10.
No, you can't. You can't pet the dog. You can just stand
can.
next to them.
You just
That's
take
bullshit.
take the weapon out of your hand, unequip your weapon, and then walk up and use your attack button, and you'll pet him.
Okay, I will do that very thing that you describe. But if this ends in dead dog, you're going to be in trouble.
Better save it first.
Better make sure Pepper's not watching.
Turn your head, Pepper.
Well, I make a sort of I haven't got a weapon gesture, but I'm not petting him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's what they said. They said you're supposed to pet him.
Well, it's not.
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't seem to be working.
You bastards.
Oh, they lied. Man, 1 out of 10.
Man, if you can't trust random strangers on the internet, who can you trust?
Who can you trust? Exactly.
1 out of 10. Fuck this game. Fuck it.
Well, I actually came here so I can spend the night in a bed because I lost a huge amount of health from falling off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll have the soft bed, thank you, innkeeper.
Yeah, you can kill the dogs, can't you?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised because you can kill
Yeah,
every
I
other
wouldn't
animal.
want to do it. I
But
wouldn't want to do it.
I'm not going to.
I know. Yeah, like I mean, in any game where you can kill animals, like I feel bad when I do it, even by accident. You know, like
And
I
yet
feel like
you'll
reloading.
kill all the human beings, you hypocrite.
Oh yeah, yeah. Where I play GTA 5, I just drive over everybody. But if I hit a dog, reload time. That never
You hit a
happened.
dog, you feel bad.
I suppose
Yep.
the difference is that human beings take responsibility for their own decisions, and dogs just sit there going, "Am I a good dog? Tell me I'm a good dog."
Exactly. So you feel bad when you do something
Yeah,
to them.
you
because
feel bad
They
when you
trust
do-
you.
You feel bad when you do anything other than pet the dog.
Yep.
Which is why people who do the Undertale genocide run should feel very ashamed of themselves.
Yes, they should. Yes, they should. Evil bastards.
Because they have to kill a dog that one could otherwise pet. And
Mhm.
pet for like days.
Yep. Can't kill that dog. It's wrong.
No, it just wants to be pet.
Yep. I like petting the dogs in Watch Dogs too. Yeah, you can actually do that.
Yeah. I remember them adding dog petting in Assassin's Creed for, I think it was Assassin's Creed 3, and they made a big deal about it.
Yeah.
They said, hey, new features for Assassin's Creed, you can now pet dogs. Wow, this is way better than fucking decent game design.
We've all played those games where you're running along in the game and then the dog shows up and the first thing you think is, well, the dog's gonna die. They're gonna kill the dog that's the emotional impact they're gonna go for.
I think it depends on what genre you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, maybe.
In Independence Day, they'll kill whole cities full of people, but they bulked at showing the dog die.
Yeah. I was, when I was watching John Wick 2, I was so like on the edge of my seat whenever the dog was in the scene because I thought, oh no, is he gonna die? Well, spoiler alert, he doesn't. So enjoy the show.
Oh,
well, Jesus Christ! Now you've ruined it for me.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, it's just anxiety-inducing. You don't want a dog to die like it did in the first one. That's sad. Fart sounds.
Yeah, I'm just filling the space as I run to this village. Yes, this is the Gerudo village. You have to come here to complete one of the dungeons.
And you have to be dressed as a woman to get in.
You see that giant mechanical camel on a hill? That was the dungeon.
Oh, interesting.
You have to go inside giant mechanical animals and rewire them and shit. And that's the dungeons. Quite interesting, actually.
Illy the Ripper says, cough, cough. Hotline Miami Dogs.
Oh, fuck those guys. I think attack dogs are a special case. If they're trying to kill you, then sure. Fuck those guys.
The ones that are especially bad were like in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. The sniper mission where you play the British guy. It's a flashback to Russia. Yeah, to Pripyat. Oh, I hate those goddamn dogs.
Dum-de-dum, I'm a woman in the female village. Da-la-li-la.
Nobody paying attention to me.
Oh, maybe I'll just try on these men's trousers for a second.
Don't misgender me.
Oh shit, sound the alarm! Someone wearing men's trousers! Capture them at once!
Kiesel wants to know what happens if you come here dressed as a man.
Well, I'm showing you. I'm demonstrating. I'm demonstrating what happens.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yes, we get thrown on our ass.
A VO has been detected. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, VO are men.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
Oh, come on. You're wearing trousers. A girl can't wear trousers.
You again. How many times does it tell you that VO are not allowed within the town walls? Oh, they're so misandrist,
Yes. Hashtag
Sexist.
not all VO.
I'm gonna tweet that out at some point.
Wasn't bad for spontaneous, was it?
Uh-huh.
Always try to make a note of my spontaneous witticisms. Let's go to the
That way you
Zora.
can-
Zora are friendly. Zora like me. I'm gonna hang out with my Zora friends. They're much cooler than you.
Yeah.
That way you can use your spontaneous witticisms later in a non-spontaneous manner.
There you go. Don't always bank on being spontaneous when you make a living out of humour.
Exactly.
Electric choo-choos. What's an electric choo-choo?
It's like
You
a
know,
slime
that's a
monster.
That's a good point. Not that Ant makes a really good point. I mean, here you are, saved Hyrule, greatest warrior in the land, basically come back from the dead to start the game, and you just got thrown out on your ass by some dude working 9 to 5 as the town guard.
Some lady.
Yep. Lady.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't
some lady.
misgender her. How dare you? Check your privilege.
Yeah, whatever.
Man.
It's kind of
we're
like
a bunch of bad boys in this chat.
Oh yeah, it's like, dude, it's like fucking Morrowind, or Oblivion.
Skyrim, or
Skyrim, yeah. Like, stop right there, criminal scum, and you're like the Dragonborn, and you're shouting dragons to death, and here he is sending you to jail.
I've killed dragons. I'm the Jarl of every freaking place on the planet. But Steve with his broken halberds over here giving me shit.
Yep. Well, what do you want? Do you want them to reprogram the entire game and redo all the dialogue to reflect what specific state you're in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do that.
I mean, you asked.
Do that, Bethesda. You fucking slack ass.
Hey, it works for Witcher. Hey, it works for Horizon. Why not? Bethesda.
Yes. Well, now I can finally demonstrate what this Zora armor actually does.
Yeah. Show us. Show us, Senpai. Show us.
Gonna be awesome.
You go to a waterfall, and then you swim up to
This
it.
one doesn't work. He's gonna flip a table or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
He's tried that once already.
Yeah. There we go. Swim upward. I went to a perfectly good waterfall in another village. They just wouldn't do it.
You can swim upwards.
Yeah, you can swim up waterfalls like a great big salmon. And let's do it again. Why not?
Yeah. That's fascinating. You're a salmon right now.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
Wearing the Zora armor.
Salmon in a Skyrim helmet.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah. Because unlike... it's one of the few powers in the game that gives you like a movement power. Because of course, the entire game map's open from the start. So you can get everywhere straight away.
Right. But they're just
you
locked away, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Locked away because, of lack of skills. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could probably like climb your way up here if you had the patience. But
just
once you get the waterfall jumping outfit, you can just go that way.
So I think the funniest thing I've seen in relation to Zelda so far was one of the reviews said there's no hook shot in Zelda this time around, right?
It would have been nice.
And somebody actually got angry because they said that was a spoiler. Yes, you're gonna get to the very end and be like, thank God no one spoiled the fact that there's no hook shot in this game for me.
Dear God.
People look for reasons to be angry at Zelda reviews.
Indeed, indeed.
People are just
Zelda
weird.
fans.
People are weird about Zelda. It's just one of those things.
They're not Zelda fans. They're Zelda stans.
Zelda stans. They're like Sonic the Hedgehog fans, but with better PR.
Yeah. You can't really get much worse
better
than
games,
Chris
honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
As
I can't think of a...
I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't get the automatic nostalgia points that Zelda always gets from reviews because Sonic the Hedgehog's actually mixed up the formula and been ruined a few times. And Zelda's just stuck with the same thing, mostly. I mean, besides, like,
they do
going for
they
the
do
Sandbox.
innovate from time to time.
But most people just want more of what they've had before.
Yeah.
That's all most
For
people... People don't know what they want.
Yeah. For me, my favorite would have to be the Minish Cap.
I was thinking of replaying that the other day.
It's so good.
But
Like, I mean,
I'd have to
the
emulate
art.
it though, which is a little bit
Oh, yeah.
naughty. My rule with
That's the
emulation
other thing you
is that I emulate, conscience free, as long as I've either A, bought at least one version of the game at some point in the past, or B, made a reasonable effort to buy a new copy of the game. Like, I made a reasonable effort to look for a new version of Aria of Sorrow, because I liked playing that on the GBA emulator. But most of them were just second-hand, and that doesn't count, because you're not supporting the developer if you buy second-hand. And the one new copy I could find was selling on Amazon for $200, and that's just not that's not a reasonable request to play a game.
No,
by that point I was satisfied. I'd made every reasonable attempt.
Well, another great example is SWAT 4. The PC version of SWAT 4 was unavailable anywhere for years and years, and you can only find it from a third-party seller on Amazon for $250. But then a month or two ago they put it on GOG, and so now you can actually buy it. And so I bought it because
why not?
Because you've been playing it cheaty style all along. When you actually get the chance to actually pay for it. People are usually happy to pay for it if you're fair about it.
If you don't overprice it and you make it, and it's not overly onerous for them to get.
Yeah, that was Gabe Newell's whole thing. He said pirates are just dissatisfied customers.
Pretty much, and that's what Warren Spector also said. He said, people worry about piracy are full of shit. Because...
I mean, this was what the music industry went through when downloading first became a thing. They were
exactly
Napster, Metallica.
First they clamped down upon it. But they discovered if they actually, charged reasonable amounts for music, like they weren't doing before, then those people were perfectly happy to pay for a downloaded song.
Well, I mean, you think about, Steam and then things like GOG when they pull the, GOG doing DRM-free releases of new games like The Witcher 3. It was like everybody was like, oh, but look, it didn't hurt them at all. It didn't.
No, it didn't. Yeah. They bought it anyway, even though they could download it, off Pirate Bay or any other site for free.
Well, I mean, it's DRM free. I could download my copy and hand it to you.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, there is that.
But people will pay for it anyway because they feel like, oh, I don't want to screw these guys over. They're being really nice. Yeah.
If the game's good, people will pay for it as long as you're not an asshole about it.
Exactly.
Oh, I forgot to re-equip all my shit after I took everything off to pet that dog. I blame you.
It's my fault. Entirely my fault.
Can you equip in combat, or is that not allowed?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
That's good.
You can pause the world.
Oh, so it's like a Skyrim style.
Yeah, you can pause the world and stuff like 15 highly braised steaks in your gob in the time it takes to jump from one handhold to another on a cliff.
Perfect.
Which I always associate with I Am Alive. Remember that?
I remember that, yeah.
Where
it was a dumb game.
It was supposed to be like a survival sim, but it turned out more of a climbing stamina sim thing.
It was fucking terrible.
Where you jump over to where you start jumping onto one ledge, pause the game mid-jump, eat 3 tins of peaches, and then unpause the game.
Yep.
I'm just roaming around randomly now because it's about time we stopped. Any more interesting questions to round us off?
When I was a kid, I wasn't able. Malaysia's currency is fucking terrible at the time, right? So I wasn't actually able to buy Fallout or Baldur's Gate. I had to get it pirated versions of them, right? I fully admit that. But as soon as they became available on GOG, I bought them. And now I own them on Steam as well as GOG.
Here's the question, Yahtzee, that you needed to. Speaking of which, Yahtzee, was part of the reason you moved to the United States because you were sick of paying double for video games?
Well, it would be pretty psychotic if that was the main reason.
It would be.
Back in the... it's a nice burgers, obviously. Back in the day, I used to occasionally import stuff with a website called playasia.com. And sometimes, even with the, next day FedEx shipping, it would still come out less than it would have cost me.
It's insane.
To buy it retail in Australia. That was for a while. For a while, games were selling for like $120 retail.
What, US dollars?
$120
US dollars?
Australian dollars.
Oh. Oh yeah, and it was on parity, right? Back then, like the US dollar and Australian dollar were like on parity.
I'm not sure. They were for a while. But yeah, for a while when I first got to Australia, they were routinely selling for about 120. It got better later. They usually go for about 80, 90 these days.
Yeah, still a lot. Do you know why it costs that much in Australia? I mean, what's the reason for it?
Well, I know the government hates video games.
That's fucked up. Like, I mean, when I lived in Singapore and I'm in Malaysia, it's actually cheaper here to buy video games than it would be to pay the American price. Yeah.
Huh. I thought that my path was blocked for a second there, but it turns out it wasn't. And I wasted a fire arrow.
Burn it, yeah? Oh, you could just walk through it.
Yeah.
Well, that's cheeky. Yeah, that's fucking cheeky.
Where the hell am I now?
Oh, I thought you had to shoot it too. Like, you know, it looked like a barrier.
No, it turns out not.
Are those fucking vertebrates from Fallout 4?
They're
flying around.
They're an asshole, is what they are. Oh, okay. I probably should wrap this up.
Yeah.
So this was Breath of the Wild on the Switch.
Yep. Indeed, it was.
I hope this has sold you on something. And remember, mum's the word. Tap nose. Shield icons on this map are where the photos are taken. If you're having trouble with it.
Good to know.
So I appreciate people probably had FAQs out for this game within 12 hours of it coming out. But, you know, this is my contribution to the world. Is there a speedrun up yet? Like going straight from the tutorial to Ganondorf and winning the game?
I believe so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure there would be. I said in my review.
There is one, yeah.
I said in my review there would be one within the day, let's face it. This is Nintendo fans.
Yeah, they played the game, you know, non-stop and just ran to the boss and killed it.
There you go. Did they bring any healing items or what?
I don't know. Probably. I would assume so because, you know, they don't have a lot of health.
Well, I suppose healing items wouldn't have helped because virtually all Ganondorf's attacks wipe out more than 3 hearts. So if you got hit at all, you would be fucking dead.
Right. You know, the people are probably still trying to figure out the best way to do it. Maybe one way would be to get a few more hearts before attempting it. Yeah. So that way you don't die in a single hit, and that way you can consume health potions.
It's not
Another way would, of course,
pretty tall
it's
order.
really good.
Getting a heart is quite a tall order there.
Yeah.
Looks like Halo Reef just posted a link to one that's 1 hour.
Wow.
That's not a speed run.
That's a slow run.
1 hour.
Don't forget that.
I suppose you do have to go through the tutorial section before you can, like, go into the world and actually go to the boss fight.
As Yahtzee's wrapping up here, don't forget that John Markley will be taking over. He's going to be streaming Torment: Tides of Numenera.
Oh, excellent game! Excellent game.
Well,
buy it.
Well, that sounds worth checking out then. So stick around for that. I'll see you guys next week for another Post Zero Punctuation stream. Watch this week's Zero Punctuation if you haven't already to find out about my opinions on the Switch and Breath of the Wild, this game. Follow me on Twitter on @YahtzeeCroshaw. Plug. Ooh, my new book's come out. Get that as well.
Yeah, don't forget the book.
Yeah. We'll Save the Galaxy for Food, audiobook, ebook, and paperback available.
That's right. On Kindle too. Yeah.
Yeah, I said ebook.
Yeah.
There's a link for Zero Punctuation.
There you go. You guys got any Twitters to plug or
Oh yeah. You can follow me at StillGray, and you can follow Ron at FFRonW.
That's me.
All right. And well, that'll be it then.
Yeah. See you next week or some other time.
See you guys.
See you next week. Cheery bye. Don't take any wooden rupees.